here this afternoon. Thank you so much for letting us be part of your day, part of your beautiful Easter Sunday, and the very happiest Easter to all of you with your families or alone, wherever you are. It is a gorgeous day in the valley. We've got an interesting show today. In this first hour, we'll talk about Jody Arias. Some interesting facts have come out. Next hour, have you ever heard of Bitcoins? You'll find out a little bit about Bitcoins and money you may want to be thinking about. Maybe the people in Cyprus may be out buying Bitcoins. Tom Horn, the Attorney General of the state of Arizona, joins us in studio at 3 o'clock. With us today, Dwayne Cates is online, and Dwayne Cates is on the phone only because he's on his way to Atlanta. What are you going to be doing?
Jay, I'm going to be on the show After Dark with Benny Collinsman. It's really fun. They have an in-studio jury, and so I'm going to get to argue to that jury and try to prove my point.
Are you going to be defense or prosecution?
I'm always on the defense, Jay. You know that.
Indeed. We'll look forward to visiting with you now. Brian Foster, 25-year veteran from Snell and Wilmer, reporting for everyone. Channel 10 et al. Brian, thanks for coming in.
Thanks for having me, Jay. Love doing your show.
Evan Bolick from the Rose Law Group. Evan, thank you.
Always a pleasure, Jay.
And you're going to be talking with us a little later about Bitcoins. And then Melissa Johnson, our social media expert. Thanks, Melissa.
Thank you.
Is there a lot of conversation this week?
Yeah, there's tons of conversation this week. Last week we were kind of talking about the Juan Martinez's fandom.
Right.
And we watched that all unfold during this past week, where the defense is thinking that Juan is kind of stepping over some lines there, taking pictures, signing autographs, and they're worried that the jurors are seeing that and what the jury might be thinking.
Dwayne Cates, what about that legally? Does the defense have any ground to stand on?
They have a little bit of ground, and they did the proper thing. They brought it to the judge's attention, and the judge called each individual juror in and questioned them about whether or not they saw Juan Martinez doing it. And this is precisely the reason that they have this alternate juror. Because if for some reason one of the jurors saw that, and they would admit that it might affect their judgment in this case, then they would be excused from the case.
Yeah, the defense is making every effort they can to raise mistrial motions throughout the case. That's pretty typical of this type of a case. The fact of the matter is that Martinez made an error in judgment. He shouldn't have done what he did. On the other hand, I think it's kind of no harm, no foul at this point in time.
Well, let me tell you, one of our news people here at the station, I visited with him on Friday, and he talked about the fact that he was outside of the regularly outside where the people come out, and the television people are there, and he, in speaking with the television people, was told they see jurors out there all the time. And of course, the jurors supposedly did see Juan Martinez. Evan, do you think that should have any effect?
I have no idea how it could have any effect, at least on the trial. I'm sure that this has damaged Juan a little bit in the public's eyes, but really, I can't imagine just seeing Juan outside has any sort of prejudicial effect, even if a juror happened to see him, which I don't believe was the case.
Yeah, but he did more than just see him outside. He was getting the rock star treatment, man. There were crowds of people. They were taking pictures with him. He was signing autographs. You know, had this big smile on his face. I mean, if a juror saw that and saw him being treated like a rock star by the public, that could weigh on their decision, the ultimate decision in the case.
Do we know any of the results yet of the judges' questioning of the jurors?
I don't know that we know that for sure. I know that it occurred, and my understanding is that none of the jurors acknowledged that they had witnessed or seen Martinez kind of glad-handing and getting kind of the rock star treatment. Now, Martinez is typically not exited through the front of the courthouse,
Right.
so this was unusual, and I'm not sure why he did it on this occasion, but it's just, 101, prosecution 101. You don't do this. You don't make yourself become the story in the case, and I'm sure that he was probably sure he got talked to about that conduct.
Yeah, I imagine being Juan, he's found all this new fame out of nowhere. There's nothing that he can do about it. It's come to him.
Well, there is something you can do about it because there's a pathway you can take to go all the way to his office on 3rd Avenue in Jefferson without ever stepping outside and being in private areas where the press and people can't do this. So, and that's the way he normally goes. For some reason, he walked out into that crowd that day.
Maybe he needed some lunch from a hot dog cart.
Makes no difference. He walked into the crowd, had his picture taken, Brian.
Well, I tell you what, this is definitely his 20 seconds of fame by some stretch, and he definitely was milking it. He was signing autographs, he was mugging for photos. I mean, I just think that he just had a lapse in judgment that day, and it won't happen again. I'm sure the judge will politely, talk to both of the attorneys involved and indicate that we need to act with appropriate decorum, both in and out of the courthouse, and I'm sure that'll be the end of it.
One other thing I'd like to add is certainly his behavior suggests he has great confidence in the state of his case, in that if he thought he was losing, I guarantee he wouldn't have been out there glad-handing, putting his picture up and signing autographs. So we can at least take away that Martinez feels very good about his position here.
And he never talked to the media. He didn't do any interviews or press conferences, so you gotta give him that too.
All right, we have a new witness that we've been seeing, a defense witness, and this is the woman who is the abuse expert, and she seems to be a lot better than the forensic psychologist that was on and was ripped apart by Juan Martinez. This woman appears pretty good.
Well, I'll tell you that her name is La Violette. She's a domestic abuse counselor, expert witness, and witnesses always do good on direct examination. They always look good. Their testimony is rehearsed, for hours on end with the defense attorney. You really won't know how she does until Martinez puts the laser drill down on her in cross-examination. And to be honest with you, she has just been talking about her credentials and things she's done today. She really hasn't gotten into anything substantively yet regarding her opinions about Jodi Arias, and that'll be where the rubber, hits the road.
Yeah, they're just starting to get into that. And she did a great job of putting hypotheticals out there. Quite frankly, I don't know why prosecution didn't object, but I think they let her go a little too far. But, Juan Martinez is going to have to be extremely careful with this woman. She is a domestic violence, expert counselor. She had dealt with abuse and women that have been abused. And if Juan Martinez comes out and starts screaming at her, I got a feeling that she's gonna bark right back at him.
What have the people on social media have to say about her?
About her, there's generally nice things to say about her. She's doing a great job, but we are also seeing that she's talking about Travis's friends that were emailing with Jodi saying that I wouldn't even let my daughter date Travis. You should get away from Travis while you can, and things like that. But then the emails aren't complete email strings, and Juan's been adjusting to that. So we'll see. Once Juan can get up there and question her and grill her about those emails, we'll definitely see where those go.
Again, everything that she's saying is dealing in a hypothetical situation, because the fact here is that Jodi Arias is the only person who's testified about any prior physical or any type of abuse. And so the main way that they're going to undermine La Violette is just to establish that every single opinion is based on Jodi Arias's version of events and nobody else's, that there is no other corroboration for anything. And if Jodi Arias, her version of events was wrong, then every single opinion Miss Violette is given is in fact going to be unfounded, and they'll be able to establish a lot of that.
Go ahead, Blake.
And I thought a lot about that is that, that Jodi Arias, you can't believe a word that comes out of her mouth. Well, can you believe that she killed Travis Alexander? You can't believe a word that comes out of her mouth.
Yeah, I think you can believe it. Our phone number is 277.
Anything else she says, except that. That's the only thing people believe. Well, who's to say that she's not delusional and that that's not true? That there was somebody else there with her that killed him.
What?
There's evidence that she killed him. There's not evidence of anything else she's saying. Just that she killed him.
Our phone number is 277-5827-277 KTAR. Maybe your comments on the Jody Arias trial, on any of the witnesses, any of your comments for the attorneys here with us. 277-5827-277 KTAR.
25 years on the voice of Arizona. When fine air conditioners, the smaller you can get away with and stay comfortable, the better for you.
More than a quarter of a century is the Arizona homeowner's best friend.
Those pavers, it's like putting a jigsaw puzzle together, but it's a heavy jigsaw puzzle. Happy 25th anniversary to Rosie. Rosie on the house. Saturday mornings, 8 to 11.
On News Talk 92.3 KTAR.
As an orphan man, I'm scientifically trained. Because to catch a pest, you have to think like a pest. Not just for any home, for your home. Orkin. Pest control down to a science. Call 1-800-GO-ORKIN for guaranteed pest control. Bring your family for a day of fun at the Scottsdale Super Expo.
Presented by SRP at Westworld April 6th through 7th.
With 5 expos in one, there's something for everyone. Discover hundreds of home, garden, and green living companies.
Shop the hottest fashions and beauty products in the Women's Pavilion.
Visit Arizona's largest health fair, sponsored by Scottsdale Healthcare, Spit City, Scottsdale.
Adopt a pet at the Kids Fun Zone, including free bounce houses and games.
It's fun for everyone. April 6th and 7th in Westworld, Scottsdale Super Expo.
Free tickets at exposaz.com.
Hey, it's Mac Watson for Arrowhead Honda. What is it about a Honda? Own one and you'll know. The first car I drove when I got my license was a Honda Civic Wagon. When I went to college, I bought a Honda Civic SI. When I turned 30, I had a Honda Civic DX hatchback. Today I own a sporty two-door Honda Accord EX. What do these cars have in common? Well, not only have these cars been there for me during important times in my life, but all of my previous Hondas have surpassed 200,000 miles. And my current Honda just turned 150,000, and it just keeps driving. Don't believe me? Ask a mechanic. All they'll tell you is that Hondas just run. So if you're looking for a new or previously owned Honda, the place to go is Arrowhead Honda. Their friendly staff is second to none, and they've won the prestigious DealRaiders.com 2012 Honda Dealer of the Year. Arrowhead Honda, easy to get to, just west of the 101 on Bell Road, or go to arrowheadhonda.com. Arrowhead Honda, head of the class.
Hi, I'm Joe Bart. No matter what stadium I broadcast from, I always have to find the closest bathroom, just in case I have that sudden urge to go. My prostate was giving me fits. But then I heard about Super Beta Prostate nationwide million bottle giveaway, and I got a free bottle. What a difference it made. I don't have to go as often, and I don't have to get up at night as much. Now I wake up refreshed and ready to tackle anything. What's so special about Super Beta Prostate is that it's the most widely used supplement supporting a healthy prostate. Super Beta Prostate has sold over 5 million bottles, and it also has a trusted 10-year history, and it's all natural. There's no reason to accept the issues that come with an aging prostate. So get Super Beta Prostate today. Call right now and you'll learn how to get a free bottle of Super Beta Prostate. Pay only shipping and handling. Call 1-800-517-4837. That's 1-800-517-4837. Hurry, supplies are limited. Call 1-800-517-4837. That's 1-800-517-4837.
Any lender.
The issues you care about. Once again, Jay Lawrence on News Talk 92.3 KTAR.
Dwayne Cage is an attorney, Phoenix attorney, and he's on his way to HLN in Atlanta to be on their nighttime program tomorrow night. Phoenix attorneys, because the trial is here, I have never seen so many Phoenix attorneys on television, Dwayne.
Well, you know, it's a boom for attorneys that want to be on TV because there's no shortage of people needing people on TV to talk about their trial. And part of the reason is there's never been anything like this. Ever. That I can recall of or think of, there's never been a trial like this.
Well, you know what? In Arizona, there has never been anything like this, and there may never be again. So, you know, the national and local media have been reaching out to all of us local attorneys and having us on incessantly. And I love it. So I hope the trial goes on forever, Dwayne.
In fact, I wouldn't even say that it's, unique to Arizona. I'd say even nationally, there's not been very many cases like this. I know only 3% of death row inmates, less than that, are females. So that alone puts Jody in a very rare spot. As well as the fact that it just involved extreme violence and extreme sex and extreme religion. So it's definitely unique even on the national platform.
Well, plus the fact that Jody Arias took the stand for 18 days. I mean, I have never seen a criminal defendant on the stand that long. Even in a complex white-collar crime case, I've never seen a defendant on the stand that long.
Well, you know, the other big story here this week that everybody's been talking about is the fact that we've spent to date about $1.4 million as taxpayers on her defense. And I know that the national media was trying to get additional breakdown. They argued to the judge that the actual records of the hours spent and time charged by individual attorneys should be released to the media. And I tell you what, you know, that's just the tip of the iceberg, because there'll be a lot more than that spent if and when she's on death row. It'll be millions and millions.
All of the appeals.
Oh, absolutely. Appeals will go on for years, probably ending with a petition in the Supreme Court if she gets the death penalty, assuming that she's found guilty.
All right, the witnesses thus far, in fact, the woman who's on La Violette, who's on the stand now, the abuse expert, all of them are trying to get the verdict of the jury not to be first degree and not to be a death penalty. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I would say that that's really, really what they're focusing on here. You know, my understanding is that there's never been a plea bargain offered by the state. It's been a murder one case from the get-go. I think the defense would have been happy to have entertained, you know, a discussion about a life imprisonment plea, but yeah, I think they're claiming self-defense, and if they prove that, that's a complete acquittal. She gets off. I don't think many people think there's any chance at all of that happening, and they're really just trying to get this reduced down to life imprisonment and not the death penalty. That's the expert's job.
Yeah, the plea bargain issue is really interesting because, you know, if people are complaining about how much this costs, this case could have been disposed with, I believe, with the plea bargain, and we could have skipped all this. But because the state insists that this be a death penalty case, then it costs money. And every time the state insists that they impose the death penalty on somebody, it costs millions of dollars to do that.
Well, spoken like a true defense attorney, Dwayne, I wouldn't expect you to say anything else, but I do understand what you're saying.
You know, and I don't think it's fair to focus on the cost as much as we should be focused on justice for Travis's family here.
And if she gets put to death, does that give her more justice than if she's in prison for the rest of her life?
Oh my goodness, now you've raised a philosophical, political, religious debate. I don't think we need to get into that right now.
Hey, it's Easter.
That's exactly right. All right, Melissa Johnson, do the people on the social media, do Twitter and Facebook people want her put to death?
Oh yes, definitely. We're seeing that everywhere. We're not believing anything she's saying. Like Dwayne was saying, why are you gonna believe that she killed him? Well, that's what the evidence is showing. And everything we've heard on social media, we're talking about she brought the gas. You know, she bought the gas can so she could have no trace of being in Arizona. And on social media, these points are not being forgotten, and we're talking about them nonstop.
But there's absolutely no evidence that she killed him. There isn't. If you look at it, there's no evidence that she killed him. There's evidence that she was present in the house when he died. But there's not one piece of evidence
Well, you know,
a finger on a trigger or a hand on a knife.
You know, Dwayne,
No gun and no knife.
she did attempt to do the mysterious masked vigilantes breaking into the house defense, and that was shot down pretty quickly.
Absolutely. So you can't believe that. Can't believe she killed her.
Hold on, let me take a break. By the way, in case anyone forgot, she's admitted that she killed him. Just in case you forgot. More of our comments straight ahead.
We can do this the easy way, or we can do it the hard way. I mean, what kind of a choice is that? At GeicoDot.com, everything's easy. Easy to see how much you can save on car insurance, easy to go paperless by automatically paying your bill online. Easy, easy, easy. So visit Geico.com today. Of course, if you prefer the hard way, I guess you'll have to go someplace else. Sorry, I just don't get it.
John, are you sure we chose the right color to paint the living room?
Oh, for chameleon's sake, Val, you look beautiful when you turn blue.
I like it. I'm just not so sure I love it. You know how fickle I am.
Well, you did turn about 30 colors yesterday.
Did I?
Yeah. It's a good thing there's the Valspar Love Your Color guarantee. If you don't love the color we chose, we get another free.
Really? Well, I guess the only thing to discuss now is dinner tonight. Could you stir fry your grasshopper curry?
Personally, mosquito parmesan. Offer ends 10/7/13. See loveyourcolor.com for offer terms. As an orchid man, my job is to help keep termites from stuffing their mandibles with your joists and crosbeams. And to catch a pest, you have to think like a pest. Not just for any home, for your home. For pest control down to a science. For free inspection, call 1-800-GO-ORCHID. Hey there, I'm Brian, and I wanted to share my story because I think a lot of people can relate. See, I'm a snorer, and even though my wife jokes about it, it really started to cause problems for us. She wasn't sleeping, I wasn't sleeping, and we often ended up in separate rooms. None of the anti-snoring products I tried worked, and there was just a lot of tension in the house. Then I discovered Z-Quiet, and my snoring has stopped. And when I say stopped, I mean stopped immediately. Z-Quiet has really changed our lives. We're both sleeping now, together. We're well rested, we're happier, and I just wanted all the couples out there to know that there is life after snoring.
For a very limited time, we're offering a 30-day trial of Be Quiet for only $9.95. If you're not completely satisfied, just send it back and don't pay another cent. This is a special trial offered for a limited time in this listening area. So call today at 1-800-304-5236. That's 1-800-304-5236. 1-800-304-5236.
Hi, I'm Bruce Boxler. And in a scene like this where I'm getting battered by heat, wind, and water, even a camera close-up can't reveal that my hair has gotten thinner over the years. Because I use Topic to keep my hair looking as thick and full as it did 30 years ago. In less than 30 seconds, Topic gives me thicker, fuller, younger-looking hair. Topic is completely undetectable. It won't run, smear, or stain under any conditions. Topic is made of all-natural keratin protein just like your own hair. Topic's fibers come in 9 shades and instantly blends with your fine organic hair. A doctor turned me onto it. I started putting it in and it blew my mind.
Oh, Candace, your hairline so thick and full. What do you do? And I'm like, girl, you need to use Topic. It's great.
Try Topic. It really works.
Call now for your free trial of Topic, and we'll include a free bottle of Topic Vibra Hold Spray and a hairline optimizer. Call 800-731-2318. 800-731-2318. 800-731-2318.
The voice of Arizona.
News Talk 92.3. KTAR.
Arizona's breaking news and traffic.
Now.
92 News Time is 1:30. I'm Christina Estes. Cops trying to figure out who's killing prosecutors in North Texas.
2 months ago to the day, Kaufman County District Attorney Mike McClellan's papa's assistant was ambushed and shot to death outside his office. McClellan was outraged.
This has never been done before. I do not want it to happen again.
It has happened to McClellan himself. He and his wife were murdered in their home. As for a connection between the killings, says Sheriff David Burns,
I can't say that. We have nothing indicating that for sure.
but it's a possibility that investigators are exploring. Jim Ryan, ABC News in Dallas, Fort Worth.
An accident at a nuclear power plant in Arkansas. 4 workers hurt, 1 killed. Here's Department of Health spokesman Ed Barnum.
The situation is stable right now. It's purely an industrial accident.
Again, he calls it an industrial accident with no radiation leaks and no risk to the public.
Visto è morto e risorto una volta per
This is his first
sempre
Easter speech. About a 250,000 Catholic faith
Ma la
filled in
forza
Peter
della
Square. The
risurrezione
Pope denouncing what he calls the selfishness that plagues the world. Let's get a check now on traffic and weather from the Larry H. Miller Dealership Traffic Center. Here's Joe Mack.
Thank you, Christy, and happy Easter. Valley Highway is running well on this Sunday. Arizona Avenue at 202 Santana dealing with an injury wreck. 32nd Street at Taylor, a brand new injury crash, and a couple of earlier injury collisions to watch out for. Broadway at Central, also Van Buren east of 35th Avenue, and those are both in final clearing. Report brought to you by Taco Bell. Taco Bell's new Cool Ranch Doritos Locos Tacos are here. It's everything you love about the original, only cooler. Live Moss at participating locations. Doritos and Cool Ranch are trademarks of Frito-Lay, North America Inc. 2013. I'm Joe Mack, News Talk 92.3 KTAR.
KTAR weather for the valley this afternoon, high 90, tonight's low 63, tomorrow sunny and cooler, high 84. Right now, feeling it's 81. I'm Christina Assett. The Jay Lawrence Show continues on News Talk 92.3 KTAR. Here you are, honey, my latest culinary creation.
Bolick, it's getting hot out. Paul here, owner of Retro Foam of Arizona. You know, we've retrofitted hundreds of homes in the valley now, and our customers are noticing a real difference. Arizona walls are often severely under-insulated. If you have a block or tract home, call 602-222-FOAM for a free insulation inspection, or go to retrofoamaz.com. That's 602-222-FOAM. It's getting hot out. Paul here, owner of Retro Foam of Arizona. Most valley homes have no air seal in the walls. That's okay with evap coolers, but with air conditioning, your money is literally pouring out of your walls. Beat the summer rush and insulate now. Call 602-222-FOAM or go to retrofoamaz.com. 602-222-FOAM.
As an orphan man, I don't mind if pests outnumber humans 10 to 1, because we have more pheromone traps, monitoring stations, and scientifically tested baits than they ever will. Orkin, pest control down to a science. Call 1-800-GO-ORKIN for guaranteed pest control.
Do you owe the IRS? Do you have unfiled tax returns? Have you received a wage garnishment or bank levy? Maybe a lien has been filed against you. OMG Tax can help you with all your IRS tax problems. Don't wait another second. Take action now. Call my team at OMG Tax. Honest and professional, we don't make false promises. If you owe back taxes, or if the IRS is garnishing your paycheck, you need help now. OMG Tax can help you get your life back to normal. If you're serious about handling your tax matter, call OMG Tax now and get the peace of mind you deserve. Don't let the IRS take your next paycheck. Stop waiting and call our team at OMG Tax. OMG Tax has a straightforward, no-nonsense approach and has helped many Americans resolve their IRS nightmare. Call OMG Tax now.
Call 1-800-498-9705. That's 1-800-498-9705. 800-498-9705.
Arizona's largest radio news team just got bigger with Arizona's new news. Stay connected at lunch. Arizona's breaking news and traffic. Now is new. Arizona's new news with Carrie Dozer. Weekdays noon to 1. News Talk 92.3 KTAR. The voice of Arizona. Once again, Jay Lawrence on News Talk 92.3 KTAR.
In studio with Brian Foster from Snell and Wilmer, Evan Bolick, Rose Law Group, Melissa Johnson, who's our social media expert, Dwayne Cates on the line. Dwayne is on his way to Atlanta. Will be on television. Is that tomorrow night on HLN? Dwayne?
Yeah, and it's tomorrow night and Tuesday night both on the show After Dark on HLN with Denny Polligan.
You know, it is amazing the ratings of this fight. The ratings have been huge.
Oh my goodness, the entire country has been mesmerized by this. And it's like, you know, it's like a bad car wreck. Everybody's got to slow down to look. So it's captured the imagination of the country.
Yeah, even people who say that they can't stand it or think the trial was silly, I mean, they're the people who are probably watching and paying more attention than anybody else is. You know, it's kind of like what people used to say about the Howard Stern show. The people who didn't like him listened to him even more than the people who did like him.
Before TV, part of the role, of course, were to provide entertainment to just the townsfolk, and we can really see that coming back in cases like this, and Casey Anthony and John Edwards down in North Carolina. And in fact, I think court proceedings will be more popular than ever now that we have things like Twitter and all the rest of the social media that Melissa talks about, since you don't really even need permission to use it while in the courtroom.
Melissa, is anybody saying, I like Jody Arias? Jody Arias is innocent. and I want her acquitted. Anybody
Besides Dwayne?
on social media.
The few people that we are seeing on Team Jody, if you will, are young girls and men. We're seeing the men who are, Jody's hot, I can't wait for her to get out of jail, I'm going to take her on a date. You know, things like that.
Really?
We'll stop there with that one.
That's suicidal.
Yeah. And then young girls. You're seeing all these young girls tweeting things about, there was this one girl who tweeted, Travis was wearing Aeropostale, I would have murdered him too. It's like, what are you talking about? And you're seeing these girls that are, you know, looking up to Jody in a way because she's getting this infamy, she's a bad girl, she's pretty, she's notorious at this point, and she's in the spotlight, and it's in a negative way. And one of my friends, Kinsey, wrote an article about it, and she's just pointing out all of these people, and it's ridiculous to watch.
You know, that seems to strike me as echoes of Amy Fisher, who gained quite a bit of fame or infamy, depending on your view, after her trial. And that is very troubling to think that an area could become a cult figure.
What was his name?
Joey Buttafuoco?
Buttafuoco. That was
Right.
it. What do you think of his name?
Yeah, I don't think, you know, first off, the jury that we have here, you know, the jurors involved here, a little bit older than I think a lot of the people who are doing a lot of the Twitter and social media. My sense is that, you know, a lot of the comments that we were just hearing about, you know, sound like, you know, the types of things that if anybody on the jury is thinking those types of things at that silly level, it would really, really concern me about
That is an interesting point. The age of the jurors.
Well, and Maricopa County has notoriously conservative jurors also. So you know, but you know, you guys got to take it a little bit careful about giving me a hard time about my predictions because I predicted John Edwards and the Casey Anthony case correctly. So you know, and remember Casey Anthony, everybody in the country, nobody gave her a chance of getting a not guilty, and the world was shocked when she was.
Well, Dwayne, this is Brian, and even a broken watch is right once or twice a day. So I can't dispute that you've corrected.
Dwayne, you don't think she will be exonerated? You think it will come off non-first degree death penalty?
I believe it's going to be second-degree murder is what I believe. I believe that what they can really prove is that there was a horrendous fight in that bathroom and that Travis died, but I don't think that they can prove premeditated murder, especially with the state theory that she stabbed him first.
I tell you what, I think the evidence of premeditation is super, super strong. It's all circumstantial, but every single thing points to this being premeditated, from the theft of the gun, the gas cans, the rental car, the license plate upside down. I mean, I could go on and on and on. I mean, the fact that she committed the whole murder in about 60 or 70 seconds, I mean, you know, you're not able to do that unless you've got that planned out. You know?
Oh, I disagree. Now, would you steal a gun, travel 1,000 miles to kill somebody, and then stab them first?
You know what? You know, I can't speak to why she did the way she did. I mean, she had him in the shower. He didn't want to get in the shower. She testified she had to convince him. I suspect she probably got him in there, had him posing, turning his back, and then went at him with a knife.
And I think the main issue is we have to remember the old adage that the truth shall set you free. And if there's anything that jurors and the media and viewers of the trial have learned, it's that she seems to be incapable of presenting the truth. And yet that is exactly what her defense is based on. And even custody areas.
And I'm not thinking she's going to get acquitted on self-defense. I don't believe this jury's going to buy that. And again, you can't believe anything she says. You can't believe that she killed him. When she says she killed him.
Well, we have pictures of that. We have, you know,
it's not of her killing him.
Well, of her dragging the dead body into the shower.
That's not. Nobody's ever said that, sir. She didn't say that, sir. There's a picture of somebody's foot.
Oh, Dwayne. Oh, Dwayne. Oh.
I tell you what, Dwayne, that's an interesting theory, but I guess, you know, since she admits she kills him, her admission.
You can't believe the words she said.
Well, you know,
Back to the thoughts of the attorney, straight ahead.
Hi, I'm Joan London, and if you're worried about your parent or a loved one living alone like I was, and you want reliable senior care information, then call A Place for Mom. the nation's largest senior living referral service. You'll get free information on assisted living, Alzheimer's care, nursing homes, even important financial information.
They had obviously researched every place, not just given me names. They found me a place for which she could afford, and it was magnificent. We're now very confident that she's safe, and they just helped every step of the way. And I can't thank them enough.
So if you're struggling to find reliable senior living information, call a place for mom. This is a free service, and you can trust them to help you.
If you're struggling to find reliable senior living information for your mom or dad, then call or go online to get the free help you need during this turbulent time. Call now, 800-473-1394. 800-473-1394.
Hi, I'm Joe Biden. No matter what stadium I broadcast from, I always have to find the closest bathroom, just in case I had that sudden urge to go. My prostate was giving me fits. But then I heard about Super Beta Prostate nationwide million-bottle giveaway, and I got a free bottle. What a difference it made. I don't have to go as often, and I don't have to get up at night as much. Now I wake up refreshed and ready to tackle anything. What's so special about Super Beta Prostate is that it's the most widely used supplement supporting a healthy prostate. Super Beta Prostate has sold over 5 million bottles, and it also has a trusted 10-year history, and it's all natural. There's no reason to accept the issues that come with an aging prostate. So get Super Beta Prostate today.
Call right now when you learn how to get a free bottle of Super Beta Prostate. Pay only shipping and handling. Call 1-800-517-4837. That's 1-800-517-4837. Hurry, supplies are limited. Call 1-800-517-4837. That's 1-800-517-4837.
Hey there, I'm Brian, and I wanted to share my story because I think a lot of people can relate. See, I'm a snorer, and even though my wife jokes about it, it really started to cause problems for us. She wasn't sleeping, I wasn't sleeping, and we often ended up in separate rooms. None of the anti-snoring products I tried worked, and there was just a lot of tension in the house. Then I discovered Z-Quiet, and my snoring has stopped. And when I say stopped, I mean stopped immediately. Z-Quiet has really changed our lives. We're both sleeping now, together. We're well rested, we're happier, and I just wanted all the couples out there to know that there is life after snoring.
For a very limited time, we're offering a 30-day trial of Sea Quiet for only $9.95. If you're not completely satisfied, just send it back and don't pay another cent. This is a special trial offered for a limited time in this listening area. So call today at 1-800-304-5236. That's 1-800-304-5236. 1-800-304-5236.
Insurance.
The issues you care about. Once again, Jay Lawrence on News Talk 92.3 KTAR.
Coming up next hour, Bitcoin. Should you be turning in all your money and trading it for Bitcoins? We'll talk about that a little bit next hour. And then Tom Horn joins us in studio. We've got Colorado City. We've got Tucson, or as a Fox reporter, of course a beautiful blonde with many white teeth, said Tuscan, Arizona. Couldn't believe it. She said Tuscan, Arizona. Oh, how much longer for this trial?
I can't imagine that the trial itself probably has about another month after rebuttal and closing arguments, but I believe that the defense is going to rest after this witness, which should be either this week or early to mid next week, assuming that there's no more sidetracking caused by Alexander by Juan Martinez or Arias.
Yeah, I would agree that the defense, if this is in fact their last witness, will finish up this week, and then there'll be cross-examination of La Violette, the witness, into the following week, and thereafter the defense, I think, will rest, and then the state will get the chance to put on the rebuttal case, and depending on how the Martinez thinks these expert witnesses have done, it may call its own expert witness psychologist.
Must he have registered those witnesses with the court? Must he give notice to the defense that he has witnesses coming up to defy the defense witnesses?
Both sides have submitted a very long list of witnesses, and they've done that throughout the case, and the prosecution has definitely got there's probably 40 or 50 witnesses they've listed. You don't usually call but a fraction of them, but they do have some psychologist-type witnesses listed as potential witnesses.
Dwayne?
Yeah, I would expect that they would call at least one rebuttal expert in their rebuttal case. And from what I understand, they're going to call somebody from Walmart to testify about the gas can issue, about whether or not she returned the gas can to Walmart and whether there's any record of that.
Oh, that's interesting. That's because the gas cans, everyone on social media says premeditated just because of the gas cans alone.
If it is premeditated murder in this case, if the outcome is premeditated murder, it's going to be because of the gas can.
But is there? So she returned one, so that means there was two. Still two gas cans. I mean, I don't drive around with gas cans on road trips.
Well, I tell you what, as Dwayne just indicated, the gas cans are going to sink her. That's really the big issue here. If in fact, she had 3 5-gallon gas cans, and she got those, and she made such a big deal about getting those from her former boyfriend. She was secretive with him about why she wanted them. That is really, that and the gun is a smoking gun.
The gas cans may be the star of the show, but let's not forget the supporting actors of her renting a car from a city that she didn't live in, as well as the mysterious disappearance of a weapon that is either similar or the weapon that was used to kill Travis.
We don't know that was the weapon. We don't know that was the weapon. And I saw an interesting picture when I was preparing for the show. One of the exhibit pictures showed shells that they had ammunition at her grandpa's house, and they should have took the ammunition, the 25 caliber ammunition, and found out what brand of ammunition it was to see if it matched the shell casing found at the scene. Neither side has done that, and I think that holds the key to proving whether the gun was stolen from Grandpa's house or whether it wasn't.
Yeah, no, there's no question in my mind that the jury is going to believe that she stole the gun, that she, orchestrated this burglary, and that the 25 caliber gun that was used to kill him was in fact the same caliber of the handgun that was stolen from the grandpa, and that is more than a coincidence.
But there are thousands and thousands of 25 caliber pistols.
When Juan Martinez brought out the receipts from the purchase of fuel and the station at which the fuel was purchased, and that the whole story about the license plates, one was missing, one turned upside down, and there were kids out there, and they may have been just vandalizing automobiles.
Well, the thing that was the craziest, in my view, about the gas cans and just why that's such damning evidence is because she testified 2 different versions about why she got those gas cans. At first, she said, you know what? I got those gas cans, those 3 5-gallon gas cans, because I thought I could buy some cheaper gas up in Nevada and save a few pennies. Well, that's ridiculous. And then a little later, she changed her testimony and said, well, in fact, I guess I got those gas cans because, I didn't want to, run, risk of running out of gas in the middle of nowhere, which is a more plausible version. But earlier she said she did it to save a few nickels and dimes, and then she later changed it. But the gas cans are going to...
She had to change that because she testified that she got gas cans to save money to buy cheaper gas in Nevada, and then promptly right after that testified that she filled it up with expensive California gas right after she got the gas can. So she had to come up with a good
More from our attorneys straight ahead.
Mac and Gator, afternoons 3 to 7.
It's the new way people are making money. Yeah, but does this mean you're going to have to hire a doorman? That's Monday.
News Talk 92.3 KTAR. Do you owe the IRS? Do you have unfiled tax returns? Have you received a wage garnishment or bank levy? Maybe a lien has been filed against you. OMG Tax can help you with all your IRS tax problems. Don't wait another second. Take action now. Call my team at OMG Tax. Honest and professional, we don't make false promises. If you owe back taxes, or if the IRS is garnishing your paycheck, you need help now. OMG Tax can help you get your life back to normal. If you're serious about handling your tax matter, call OMG Tax now and get the peace of mind you deserve. Don't let the IRS take your next paycheck. Stop waiting and call our team at OMG Tax. OMG Tax has a straightforward, no-nonsense approach and has helped many Americans resolve their IRS nightmare. Call OMG Tax now.
Call 1-800-498-9705. That's 1-800-498-9705. 800-498-9705.
Hi, I'm Bruce Boxley.
And in a scene like this where I'm getting battered by heat, wind, and water, even a camera close-up can't reveal that my hair has gotten thinner over the years. Because I use Topic to keep my hair looking as thick and full as it did 30 years ago. In less than 30 seconds, Topic gives me thicker, fuller, younger-looking hair. Topic is completely undetectable. It won't run, smear, or stain under any conditions. Topic is made of all-natural keratin protein just like your own hair. Topic's fibers come in 9 shades and instantly blends with your fine or thinning hair.
A doctor turned me onto it. I started putting it in, and it blew my mind.
Oh, Candace, your hairline's so thick and full. What do you do? And I'm like, oh, you need to use Topic. It's great.
Try Topic. It really works.
Call now for your free trial of Topic, and we'll include a free bottle of Topic Vapor Hold Spray and a hairline optimizer. Call 800-731-2318. 800-731-2318. 800-731-2318.
John, are you sure we chose the right color to paint the living room?
Oh, for chameleon's sake, pal, you look beautiful when you turn blue.
I like it. I'm just not so sure I love it. You know how fickle I am.
Well, you did turn about 30 colors yesterday.
Did I?
Yeah. It's a good thing there's the Valspar Love Your Color guarantee. If you don't love the color we chose, we get another free.
Really? Well, I guess the only thing to discuss now is dinner tonight. Cricket stir-fry or grasshopper curry?
Personally, mosquito parmesan. Offer ends 10/7/13. See loveyourcolor.com for offer terms. Apply will qualify.
The issues you care about. Once again, Jay Lawrence on News Talk 92.3 KTAR.
You know, it's interesting that all of the things that we see on television, all of the Nancy Graces, all of the other shows that present witnesses that say Jody was weird, that talk about the wonders of Alexander, the jurors don't get to hear any of that. They don't know anything about that because they're not supposed to be watching television.
Yeah, when you're a juror, you really just get to see a microcosm, a very small segment of what the rest of us who are judging her and, forming opinions about the case actually get to see. You're like living in an isolated little world where the only evidence you see is what's presented at trial, and you have no idea, unless you're violating the court's order.
Were there any female character witnesses for her?
There was one briefly who was Travis Alexander's friend. Something that I find incredibly bizarre about this trial is really the only effective character witnesses she was able to dig up were ex-boyfriends. There was no one person, no girlfriend, no longtime childhood friend who came out and just said, you know what, quite simply, Jody's a good person. And that's very troubling.
She was stalking Travis Alexander.
Ex-girlfriend, ex-boyfriend are the best character witnesses in the world. Number one, they're alive. They can come to court and testify. She doesn't, she's not a black widow. She doesn't kill everybody she's in a relationship with. In fact, before this case happened, there's not one person that says that she was a liar.
Yeah.
There's none of her people from the past say that she's a pathological liar. She always lies as far. None of that.
I agree that the best evidence she had were these former boyfriends. Each one of them testified that, even after they cheated on her or did horrible things to her, that the relationships ended under normal circumstances. She didn't stalk them afterwards. In some cases, they remained friends for years and years. And by all accounts, Jodi Arias, who has got, crazy to the 10th degree, did not really show any prior signs of being the type of person who would do a heinous act like she did here.
I don't have the optimism that you two have about the ex-boyfriends. Yes, they're alive, but they also painted a drastically different picture of Jodi than the one she's desperately attempting to put forth on the stand here. They described her as very sexually liberal, very much a social climber, willing to leave people behind if she believes that she can get ahead. And once again, when your defense is built solely on you and your reputation and your trustworthiness, that kind of thing really isn't overly helpful.
Yes, Lynn.
Well, I don't know that it's overly hurtful either. I mean, what she's saying is that she was attacked in that bathroom. Okay, now, in order for that to have happened, she doesn't have to be a battered woman. She doesn't have to have psychological syndrome. She doesn't have to have anything. She just had to be in fear for her life in that moment in order to justify the killing. And so all this other stuff could be periphery, and all this other stuff, you could believe it or not believe it, but the only two people that know what happened in that bathroom are Jody and Travis.
Dwayne Cates, thank